Okay, how's that for audio? Yes, I skipped the audio check. I did not do that intentionally. Ay, caramba. Now he blurs the video, you say. What is wrong with the... Is it really blurred? Check your quality. Yeah, change the quality settings. I think I just had to change mine. Change your quality settings and you'll be fine. Okay, so good morning. It's almost 9 o'clock. Well, now it's 9:03 on 9:04 almost on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. Lawn Dog says, yes, we can hear you now. Ay, caramba. Such a Doug. So I came over here into emails and I wanted to acknowledge Jesse Kirk. A few days back, I mentioned that I received a really enjoyable email from a community member that doesn't talk a whole lot in chat, and that was Jesse Kirk. He has since told me that it's okay to reveal his name. He just didn't want me to reveal all of his work history that he had told me about, which is fine. And he sent me a very nice, generous Amazon gift card. So again, Jesse, thank you for that. Tim Cruz over here, he says, good afternoon, Doug. I got my new computer. Do you want to check it out? And then we see the photos that he sent me. I already showed you the photos, but here they are again. He's got his email screen here. I think he's just showing us really the laptop itself. Wasn't trying to show us the emails. When I first saw this, I was thinking, is that a docking station? But no, it's not. We can tell that when we go look at the Dell listing. Here's the actual service tag number if you're curious to get more detail about his new computer. Now, I'm wanting to know, Tim, is this the computer that you got under warranty replacement? Or is this another computer that you purchased? Let's see, I want to get back here to the MS Info screen, showing us the Dell G16 7630 13th Gen i9. And he's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Then we come over here to his Amazon listing for it. Over here shows that it's currently being offered at $1,450, and I'm suspecting that he didn't actually just purchase this because we recently helped him do our warranty replacement. So I'm not clear on whether this is that warranty replacement or not, and I still don't see him in the chat room. Then I'll move on to other emails. I had already looked through these and saw that they don't expose people's email addresses. And this is Sin Vicious in response to the Saturday show. It says, I've changed registry and gone to Windows Explorer and refreshed or restarted. It's never restarted the computer. That might be a misunderstanding, Sin. I wasn't expecting that when I was restarting Windows Explorer through Task Manager, I wasn't expecting it to restart the computer, but I was thinking it might crash the live stream that was going on at the time. Have you tried MemTest yet? Windows memory diagnostic test will run for 2 hours and restart the computer, look for memory diagnosis results. I don't have any reason to want to run MemTest. At this point, everything's working fine. So if there's some other reason why you are perceiving that I need to run MemTest, maybe you could elaborate on that. And then on a chain of conversations with Brian. Yeah, he says, I think Dragon Natural, oh no, he says, let's scroll down here. Well, I think he's already approved, made it okay to show his email address, so we're okay. I think we're okay with that. He sent interaction regarding Windows dictation. Let's see, down here. Windows 11 introduced speech-to-text a few updates ago, including punctuation on Notepad, Windows key H. Yeah, he sent this during the show yesterday, so he went and looked at that. And then I responded to his email using Windows dictation, and I think I told about this yesterday. It was putting a period at the end of the sentence, automatically put a comma, interestingly, but it made some mistakes. Correction commands don't work. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. We kind of explored around with Dragon Naturally Speaking and the Windows dictation yesterday. But the thing I wanted to get to was Yeah, this one. Brian saying that it's cheaper than Dragon Naturally Speaking. Apparently, WinH speech to text functionality also exists in Windows 10 according to Wintermute. I've emailed him to see if Microsoft added the feature update of punctuation to Windows 10 like they did in Windows 11, but it would have been long after they said no more feature updates to Windows 10. I'm still waiting on a reply from Wintermute. I think the answer to that, Brian, is that yeah, they're not doing any more feature updates to Windows 10, the operating system itself, but any elements that are included in Windows 10 that are the same package, the same feature that exists already in both platforms. If it's updated on one platform, it'll be updated on the other. And I'm certain that I've seen Windows H in Windows 10 for a long time. I don't know when it was added, but it seems to me it's been around for, I would have thought before Windows 10 stopped doing feature updates. So anyway, I don't know about that detail, and I don't really care too much. Here's the same paragraph from above. So here's where Brian first dictated the paragraph. Let's see, it's cheaper than Dragon. Yeah, from above, but added by Microsoft speech to text. So here's the paragraph when he dictated it, and here's the paragraph when he actually typed it out or corrected it, I suppose. So that has some kind of funny things. It's cheaper than Dragon, naturally speaking. If you pause while you're dictating using Windows H, it'll put a period there, just automatic. It'll assume that you're doing two sentences. So you need to say your whole sentence all the way out. Win plus H, so here's where it thought the word was wind rather than, or wind or wind rather than win. Speed, which the word win, forget the abbreviation for Windows. The word win is a valid word, right? I won the game. I won the bet. Speech to text functionality also exists in Windows 10 according to Wintermute. So Wintermute here was, of course, the speech to text recognition doesn't know the name. I've emailed him to see if Microsoft added the feature update of punctuation to Win 10. Now here they got it right, like they did to Win 11, got that right. But it would have been long after they said quote, so he didn't get the quote symbol, no more feature updates to Windows 10, end quote. And then I responded up here to Brian, I think Dragon, naturally speaking, is worth the extra cost for people who are really able to use it in a way that effectively saves them time for work that they actually get paid for. You need to be willing to spend the time to learn how to use and optimize the product. If you're just going to install it and turn on and not learn how to use it effectively, then don't bother with it. This email was written with Dragon, naturally speaking. So I did dictate that out, and I did use the correction commands to correct a couple minor errors. And I was contemplating adding to that I have actually told some clients I've advised them against it because I know the person well enough to know that they're not going to spend the time training it and learning how to use it. Also, something I didn't show yesterday is the training capability within Dragon, naturally speaking. There's much longer text that you can read, so it learns better how you talk. And with the Pro Edition, there's a menu option that you can tell it to train itself, which means it will go through all of your recent dictations and the corrections that you've made and train itself without you manually going to click the train button. Okay, I think that's all of the things I had lined up in email. So now I'll go over to the chat room and find out that you're yelling at me about having my microphone muted when I started the show. Ay, caramba, such a Doug. Do we have any such a Doug comments in chat? John Williams, I've seen one of those being used as a boat anchor, and he's referring to the trailer. Nice trailer, Doug, he says. Let's see, I've got that queued up over here somewhere, I think. Did I? No, I did. I had it saved on here. The trailer was a promotional video that Bill Gates did for the Macintosh computer. And when I stumbled upon that yesterday, the thing that just cracked me up about it, here's this Bill Gates that looks like 16 years old saying, at Microsoft, we don't usually work with hardware vendors or something like that. And it just cracked me up, such a young kid saying, At Microsoft, we don't use like he's some big hotshot big company, right? He wasn't then. I mean, he had some success, but yeah, it wasn't like what it is now. There's a boat anchor comment. Darren Gilholm, RAN Israel. Did anyone experience this? RAN Israel is showing this bleeping computer, and I already have that pulled up over here. Yeah, I don't want your advertisement. Bleeping computer. Microsoft confirms Windows bug renames printers to HP LaserJet M101-106. This was an interesting thing. Microsoft has confirmed an issue causing the HP Smart App to automatically install on Windows systems after all printers are renamed to HP LaserJet. I think they voice to text did this wrong. I don't think that's, it doesn't install, that implies that you got to go rename your printers and then the app would automatically install. No, that's not what they're saying. Customers has reported this issue since last week on the Microsoft community website. Now, what date do we have? December 5th, 2023. So this morning. According to these reports, the HP Smart App is automatically installed on some Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices via the Microsoft Store, even though users don't own or use an HP printer or an HP computer. Get this. You don't have an HP printer, you don't have an HP computer, some computers, this app is automatically installing. While initially some users thought that their systems had been compromised, Microsoft has now confirmed this is a known issue affecting both client Windows 10 1809 later and Server 2012 platforms. Now earlier it said Windows 11. See, up here it says Windows 11. Down here, so it's not saying that Microsoft confirms Windows. Well, now wait a minute. Windows 10 1809 and later. So is Windows 11 considered later? I suspect that's a yes. According to Microsoft findings, devices without access to the Microsoft Store should be unaffected by this particular issue. So you have to have access to the Microsoft Store. I'm going to show a little bit about what that means. Additionally, all printers, regardless of the original manufacturer, are being relabeled as HP printers on impacted systems, with the possibility that the printer icons will also get changed. When users try to open the printer by double-clicking on it, they may also see an on-screen error message that says no tasks are available for this page. Double-clicking, no tasks are available for this page. Interesting. I didn't catch that the first time I read through this. Printing processes are not expected to be affected by this issue, so you should still be able to print to whatever printer you originally have set up. It just might be named HP at this point. It should be possible to queue printing jobs as usual, as well as other features such as copying or scanning, Microsoft said. Yeah, how many ads bleeping computer sends at you? I don't have the ad blocker turned on right now, do I? Isn't that it right there? To update your settings, reload. I'm not going to bother with that. Printers on the device will continue to use expected drivers for printer operations. Even though it's named HP, the printer will still use their correct driver. As the symptoms are related to automatic installations of the HP Smart App, Windows devices which do not have access to the Microsoft Store are not expected to be affected by this issue. Microsoft is investigating this ongoing issue. Will provide an update soon. Home and business users seeking assistance, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I was suspecting, am I going to have my clients call me about this? And I think the answer is no, because my clients typically don't have access to the Microsoft Store, although some of them do sign in to their computers with a Microsoft account. Now I'm going to demonstrate a little bit about this. Hit the Windows key and then sign in options. So I just type the word sign in options is one of the search results. I click on that, and in the upper left corner you see that Big Beast Build is signing in to Microsoft account. Now, does that mean I have access to the Microsoft Store? So I press the Windows key, type the word store, get Microsoft Store here, and Microsoft Store comes up, and up here on this profile indicator, you see that I am signed in to the Microsoft Store on Big Beast Build. However, let me move over to Baby Beast. And on Baby Beast, if I go Windows key, sign in options, and up here show that it is also signing in with a Microsoft account. Now that gives me features that I like very much. So I do sign into Microsoft account intentionally. It is very useful to me. Does Baby Beast have access to the Microsoft Store? So Windows key and type the word store, Microsoft Store, click on that, look at the profile icon and see that I'm not signed in because I'm being offered to sign in. Now, I think what happened is sometime back in the past, I did sign into the store on Big Beast build, but not on Baby Beast. So once a computer does sign in with the Microsoft account to the Microsoft Store, at that point forward, they may have access to the Microsoft Store, even if you don't log into Windows with a Microsoft account, I think. Because once you sign into the Microsoft Store, you don't have to be signing into Windows with a Microsoft account to get signed in to sign into the Microsoft Store. They are independent authentications, even though it's the same credentials. Once you sign into the Microsoft Store, perhaps let's have a look here. See if there's an option to, like, remember me on this computer or stay signed in, something like that. I don't see that. So I don't know if it's an option to remember the sign in or not. Of course, once you sign in, you could then sign out so that computer's not automatically signing in to the Microsoft Store whenever you start up your computer. So, and Randy Israel, no, I haven't heard of anyone yet experiencing that. Mike Wojcik, Selden Ball, Winter Mute, no audio, check audio, no sound, you're muted, yelling at me. Doug, pound him on the head. Alice, hello. The Zvimenor silent, can't hear you, Doug. No audio, no sound, no. That's a way to generate a lot of activity in the chat room. That's what I was trying to do. It was not unintentional. It was not an accident that I was muted. I wanted to get you people active in the chat room and having a reason to speak up in chat, right? Yeah, that's what it was. It was me being clever, not making a mistake. He's not reading chat from Chris. Picked the wrong day to skip audio check. How is it? I so routinely do the audio check and I didn't do it. Jeff Ryman, motion picture from Zavi. Oh boy, I'm behind. I do have a redirect set up. Let's see, is Speedy here? Is Speedy here? Yeah, Speedy's here. So I do have a redirect that maybe Speedy will be interested in, because Speedy talked in this morning about his programming work. So I have a redirect set up to this guy that I discovered, and I've mentioned him once before, Pirate Software. He's live streaming right now, and let's see, his live stream's been running for almost 8 hours. This live stream, when I go look at his content, this guy's crazy. Look, 22 hours ago was a 9-hour stream, 9.5 hours, and then the day before that, 8.5 hours. The day before that, almost 9 hours. So I guess he's about ready to give up for the day, perhaps. 9 hours. He streams every day, like 8, 9, 10 hours. Craziness. Programming is part of what he does. He does some gaming, does a lot of things. Very entertaining, I found him to be. So a redirect at the end of today's show will take you there. Hello, Darkness, my friend. Blurs the video. We can hear you. Audio fine. Refresh. Let's see. Chris, Londog, Rand. I'm not intending to skip over anyone's name. My video went to 720p from Selden. Isn't it kind of interesting that all of us got low resolution 144? I wonder if your resolution changed then caused the broadcast to get the same video setting pushed out. That's interesting that it changes for a bunch of people. I have seen that change. I think even like if I start out muted and then unmute, I think that's a common way for that to happen. In fact, maybe tomorrow I'll test that. Maybe tomorrow, legitimately for reals, will be an intentional starting the stream with mute and then unmute and see if that switches everybody to 144p. Other laptop was Lenovo. This is a gaming Dell, much more expensive. So, gee, apparently he bought a, yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking the other one was Lenovo. Yeah, I think you're right on that. Tim, wow. Hey, he's the rich uncle, everybody. If you want money, go see Tim. Ask him to buy you a computer. While i9 processor, that is insanely overkill. You really got to do something to stress that processor. To talk about heavy video, not only i9, but 13th gen, right? My Intel, wasn't it? Intel i7 with all the things I do rarely gets above 60%. Chris Garrett to Lawn Dog. I think my Latitude would game maybe just as good. Daniel Emberley, hello to you. My Asus 5700 system seems stable using portable hard disk drives with the motherboard USB 3.2 gen connectors. Fascinating, yeah, because I think there was 2 of your USB drives that you said was seemed to be causing troubles with your motherboard, even though they weren't reporting problems directly. I think I'm saying that right. Lawn Dog, probably Chris Garrett. Not that I do much gaming, you're probably making good sense. I never knew Dragon could speak. Who is this winter mute guy? Let's get on here. I heard something about Windows 10, 11 update, rename printers. Yes, you go back and replay that if you haven't heard, if you didn't hear that out. Just some dummy winter mute. Just some dummy Brian Lightfoot. Oh, the winter mute guy. I actually got that joke. Speedy C, hi Doug, sad. SAD is such a Doug. That's what that acronym stands for. Rick Lakes, Alice, that PC to carry around looked good. That laptop? Or are you referring to the Mac? The Macintosh, the girl carrying it in her basket on her bicycle. I edited that video down. I didn't show you the whole length of that video, just the parts that I felt entertained by. Richard Rogers says hello to everybody, and everybody's saying hello back to him. The way I read it was 10 and 11 for that printer issue. Yeah, I'm inclined to think that's what it was. Or what? Or are you referring to 10 and 11 for the speech to text from Windows 8? Greg M says, I never realized how many ads bleeping computer shoves at you. Yeah, those bleeping computer people. Randa Greg, you should see makeuseof.com twice as bad. I use my Microsoft. Isn't it interesting that the people who complain most about advertising is computer techs, and the people who are most abusive about doing advertising are computer tech websites that would attract computer techs. Maybe that's why we're so sensitive to it, because those are the sites that we're going to that are really abusive. I use my Microsoft account and store from Alice. How do you create a local user account like on Windows 7? Okay, well, I can actually show that. Let's do it on Baby Beast. I should be able to do it on Big Beast without interfering with the stream. But first of all, click on the Windows key and then sign in options. I'm thinking what you're really asking about is how can you sign in with a local account instead of your Microsoft account, or do you want to actually create a separate local account? You don't have to be separate. When you're signing in with a Microsoft account, you can switch that to be a local account. Now, I just clicked on this up here to give me this page, and I think this is where it is at. Let's see, I should be able to look at this over here. Text message from a client. Then let's see, there's a place, and actually on Windows 10 it's a little bit easier to see. Sign in options, click on that, and then I can't read that very well over there. Is that coming through okay? There's a place to use local account instead. More about sign-in options, help with sign-in options. It's really easy to spot on Windows 10, but I have found it more difficult to find with Windows 11. Use my sign-in info to automatically finish setting up after an update. No. More about sign-in options. No, that's not where I want it. Somebody's going to tell me in chat how to get to it, right? Speedy C is going to look at my redirect. Scroll down, Ran Israel says. Let's see, I'm all the way down. Related support, that's going to take me to help screen. Yeah, I'm already scrolled all the way down. Am I on the wrong screen for it? accounts, manage storage, see all your info, sign in options, email accounts, Windows backup, access workers, school, related settings. Oh, where is it? How about if I click up here and type local? Will that get me to it? Local account, because you can switch back and forth. Oh, you know, I think I've seen before where it's just a whole lot easier to get to it than you would expect. Oh, come on, where is it? I don't think I'm on the right screen. I'm looking back at chat. Go to other users. Yeah, go to other users to add an account. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for now, Wintermute, is to switch to sign in with a local account. I don't want to add an account. We'll go to that later. This would be in other users. Here's local account. These are accounts that exist. I want to change my sign in to sign in with this user profile, but with a local account instead of Microsoft account. And I don't think that's it. I think that's actually a different user account. Looking back at chat, sign in options. Yeah, well, that's where I expected, and that's what I originally asked for. That's where I expected to be, and that's where it always is with Windows 10. Ways to sign in. This option currently unavailable for face. Fingerprint unavailable. PIN. Security key. See, ways to sign in. It should be right in here, it seems. Look at these. Sign in Windows apps. I couldn't find fingerprint. PIN. Remove this sign in options. If you've been away, when should Windows require you to sign in? Improve security, Windows Hello. Oh, come on, it's around here somewhere. Use my sign-in info to automate. No. More about sign in. That just goes to a website. Changing your Microsoft account password, Windows Hello. Resetting local account password. Well, that's acknowledging that there is a local account, but that's support. That's going to take me to a website. That's not how to switch to signing in with a local account. Looking back at chat to see if somebody's found it. Click on your info. Your info right here. Yeah, here it is. Sign in with local account. Good grief. Good golly, Miss Molly. Well done, Ran Israel. Maybe somebody else said it, but that's where I saw it. So your info. Can you actually do the search here? Your info. Yeah, your account info. And then logging in with your Microsoft account, creating a Microsoft account, help with your info. Oh, here it is. Sign in with local account instead. So just click on that. Are you sure you want to switch to local account? Click next. And then I'll put in my PIN to say that I'm authorized. Then I have to put in a new password and a new password hint. So that's going to switch me to a Microsoft account using the same profile, the same user profile, all the same My Documents, the same pictures and everything. So that's switching to that. Now, what Alice actually asked for was what? Use my mind. How do you create a local user account like on Windows 7? So if you actually want to create an account as a separate profile, separate documents, separate everything, then what I typically do is hit the Windows button and then type users, not user account control settings. So that's user singular, singular plural, other users, add other users. So then click here, add account. How will this person sign in? You have to say, I don't have this person's sign-in information, which is really stupid and misleading. Yes, we have this person's sign-in information. We just don't want to sign in with a Microsoft account. Get over it, Microsoft. You don't have to word it that way. It's just stubborn, bonehead, stupid. Did Doug really say that? And then create account, and we want to add a user without a Microsoft account. So this is adding a user with a local account. So this is an account for Alice, and her password is, of course, Alice, because she's really, really careful and secure. So that's Alice with all lowercase letters. In case you forgot your password, so you can put in security questions. If you're just doing like a temporary account that you really don't care about, you're going to wind up deleting it or something like that. I just pick you. Let's see. Wait a minute. Will it let me do this with? It'll let me go on without answering. Nope, it says they're required. So you have to put in answers. So if I'm just trying to rip through something quick that I intend to turn around and delete, I just put in the lowercase a for each of these. But I don't do that for an actual user account that's going to be used. But that's just a quick way to get through that. So then there's that local account, and then you can click on it and change the account type to administrator if that's what you want to do. And then, since I don't want anyone trying to hack Baby Beast that way, I'll go back and remove that account. So, sorry, Alice, you're not going to get to log in to my computer. All right, so there's that. Windows 7 only has local accounts. Really? Windows 7 Pro doesn't allow you to log into a domain server? Well, it's not a Microsoft account, but it'd be a domain account. So that would be different than a local account, I think. But Windows 7 doesn't have Microsoft accounts, but I think it does have domain accounts that it can sign into. Of course it does, for Windows 7 Pro. Rand Israel, you can still use the Microsoft Store without signing in, but if you purchase an app, it's tied to the machine instead of your Microsoft account, so it can't be used across device. Well, that's interesting because in that article, they said if you have access to the Microsoft Store, everyone has access to the Microsoft Store if you don't sign into it. So the implication there was that you had to be signing into it with a Microsoft account. Otherwise, why even say that? How am I doing? How far behind? All right. I'll try to get through these. Selden Ball, I can confirm that logging in the Microsoft Store does not require using Microsoft login on the computer. Yes, correct. Wintermute, can have a Microsoft account here for the store, settings accounts, email accounts used by other apps. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Interesting. Let's see if I can show that. Can have Microsoft account here for the store. So settings and then accounts. Just got to spell it right. Email and accounts, yeah. And then accounts used by other apps. Yeah, so here Microsoft account is used by other apps. And that might have been added there on Baby Beast before I was signing Baby Beast in with a Microsoft account. I don't know. Does it automatically show up here once you've signed in to some other app? Because I do sign into Microsoft 365, which is a separate sign-in from logging into Windows. Brian Kenstout says we can beat that 8 to 9 hour live stream from Pirate Software. Hold my beer. Thanks. I'll take a look at your redirect, Doug. Sorry, my mistake. Go back to other users to add an account. Yeah, we've done that. Londog, Doug, it's very interesting how I hear people from Microsoft often pitching about cutting down the number of clicks to do things, or it's easier to get to some function, yet Windows 11 sign-in, Windows 11 is its own piece of work. Yeah, I don't see them cutting down the number of clicks. Now, it may be true in the sense that if you go through the front door, we're as technicians, we have all these shortcut back doorways that we go to do things, and that's what they cut out. The number of clicks to go through the front door, maybe they've reduced that in some ways. Maybe if you're using their most optimal techniques for getting to a certain level, maybe you can do it quicker, but you have to learn that particular technique. And myself and many other tech YouTubers I've seen, we go into Windows 11 and still just kind of poking around, hunting and pecking, trying to find it. Why not, after all these years, hasn't Microsoft figured out the most efficient way to do things and leave it alone? We got to change where things are and how to manipulate the function. Is frustrating. Absolutely. Click on your info. We did that. Pure info text. Switch from. This is switching from local Microsoft account to local. So we've been there since he put in that comment. Selden to Lawn Dog. My assumption is they hire new people who don't know the tried and true techniques and want to impose what they like on everybody. No, I don't think that's what it is. Now I think what it is, yeah, they hire new people and yeah, they promote people, but people, to justify their jobs, they come up with new and better ways to do things, change it up. And without making changes, if a person in a particular job is just doing the same old, and they're not coming up with new ideas, I think to the executives, they don't look like a productive employee. I think these big companies, they like to see innovation and improvement, even if it's not perceived as improvement by the audience, but by the executives. I think that has something to do with it. Not speaking as an authority there. It's not easy to find at all. I don't put a password in when an account is created. I add a password later. Yeah, I commonly do that too. When I'm setting up a computer, particularly when it reboots, I want it to reboot and go into Windows without having to put in a password. You don't have to enter a password for a local account. Of course, with a Microsoft account, there's no getting around that. Selden Ball is probably not so much the inexperienced people or knowing the history. I'm sure programmers are not new to Windows products. It's people probably in marketing insisting on changes to the operating system. When they invoke these new changes, then everything has to change. From there, you change the boxes, you change how they function. Yeah, they have something to market. If they say new and improved, if they can't say new and improved, then the marketing people, they can't justify their jobs. Ran Israel, unless you disable it in group policy or use LTS, long-term servicing something or other version of Windows, disable it in group policy. Was that referring to the Windows 7 domain account? I'm not sure what was Ran and I talking about there? I don't know. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. So true. When I was in high school, I had a guitar teacher come over to my house to teach me guitar, and Alice's Restaurant was one of the songs that he taught me to play. I never went very far with the guitar. I was way too shy to play in front of people. My dad made me play in front of the family. I was just sweating bullets to do that. Lawn Dog to Ken, I may have lined up a big YouTuber who might pop in just to witness the debacle in a 24-hour podcast. He keeps coming back with that 24 hours. He's pushing for 24 hours. This person is a veteran of doing these types of podcasts. That's what Arlo Guthrie said. I'm telling you, he's a big YouTuber producing 2 or 3 videos a day. Zavi Minor is giving us somebody here. Who's he giving us? Third-party apps may soon not work customizing Windows 11 to restore Windows 10 features. Oh, ouch. May soon not work for customizing Windows 11 to restore Windows 10 features. Is that Windows 10 features or just look and feel? Look and feel. That was 4 days ago. I'll take a look at that later. That was from BrenTech. Thank you, Zvi. Ran Israel, message from 936 regarding access to the Microsoft Store. Oh, you're referring to the Microsoft Store. Disable it in group policy or use LTSC. So disable access to the Microsoft Store. You can do that in group policy. Yeah, that makes sense. Mike Wojcik, Microsoft is good at fixing things that aren't broken. Yeah. Almost caught up. Lawn Dog, cooking using the computer at the same time. Does anyone agree that it can be dangerous to your food you're preparing? Any anecdotal experiences to pass on? I nearly overcooked my pancakes just on the edge of burning. I like my eggs running cooked on top. Well, that didn't happen for the eggs. So I'm looking in there for the tech that we can dissect out. Yeah, no, there's no tech in that. All right, I'm out of here. Got a redirect set up for you to go to what's his name's channel was Pirate Software. And I'm going to go over there and see if any of you speak up in his chat room, see if we get an acknowledgement from him for the redirect. And let me get that up and ready on my screen. And I'm going to pause one of my monitoring screens so that I don't lose the chat room, and then I'll get redirected on the other screen. So here we go. Hey, have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.